Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the best abilities in Superstar X Factors, and I'm also going to be showing you the best chemistries also. So, let's just get right into it. So, I'm going to start with your quarterback. So, for the X Factor, I always use Bazooka. Gambler, I mean, that's decent, but most people click on anyway, so it's not going to be that good. And then Run and Gun, that is also just worse than Gambler, so don't ever do Run and Gun. And then, I mean, Brick Wall, yeah, that's pretty good. And then Fearless, that is a pretty good one too. That affects me a lot, but most of the time I roll out, so I don't have a lot of pressure. But it can help. Blitz Radar, that's not very good because you can just see that they're blitzing. Pro Reads, I never use this. I mean, if you're not very good at reading your defense, then maybe use it, but it's not that good anyway. But yeah, I would use Bazooka if I were you. Bazooka or Brick Wall. So let's get into the abilities. So I'm just going to go all the way to the third one, so I have all of them. But number one, Escape Artist, always. Most people think that you should use Dashing Deadeye. Where is that? Most people think you should use Dashing Deadeye. No, I suggest never using Dashing Deadeye. You need Roaming Deadeye. See, Roaming Deadeye is No Look Deadeye and Dashing Deadeye in the same ability. So, and it costs way less training. So what you want to do with Roaming Deadeye is you want to roll out, and then all you have to do is right before you throw it, let go of the right trigger, and that's the one that causes you to roll out or scramble. Like, it's the sprint. Just let go of that, and then it'll be a perfect accuracy every single time as long as you're out of the pocket, because it's a glitch where it thinks you're standing outside the pocket, but you're not. So yeah, just roll out and then let go of the right trigger. It doesn't matter which way you go, just let go of the right trigger and it'll be perfect as long as you don't have pressure. And then, so Escape Artist and Roaming Deadeye are my top two. And it depends on your quarterback, but I don't suggest getting Jukebox or Evasive, because it's quarterback. You're not going to be able to juke a lot anyway, because you're going to fumble most of the time if you get hit. Last Ditch is, I would get this, but it's really good for people that have a slow animation, or they don't have very good throw power. So I would get Last Ditch if you have someone like Russell Wilson, because what is it called? Or I don't remember who else has low throw power, but if you have someone like Russell Wilson that has not a lot of throw power, get Last Ditch, because you will throw it more and you won't get it sacked as much. Identifier can be good, but I don't suggest getting it because you only have 3 ability slots, and Identifier is just helpful sometimes. But here we get to Fast Break. I highly suggest this if you saw my last video over my QB run, and this helps a lot. Fast Break is very good for fast quarterbacks like Michael Vick, because I run a lot of QB runs, because not a lot of people expect it, because not a lot of people run QB runs. But if you have an open slot that you don't know what to use, just put Fast Break in and learn some good QB runs. And then Gutsy Scrambler, I mean, that can be good if you're using Dashing Deadeye, but it's not going to work if you're using Roaming. Homer, I mean, if you don't have a reason to use any other ability and you just have an open first slot, then use Homer or Indoor Baller. I used to use Indoor Baller a lot, but then I learned all of these. Armbar at a quarterback? No. I don't even think anyone can get that. No Look Deadeye, I already discussed. Don't use this one. Use Roaming. Bulldozer? No. Dashing did I? No. Use roaming. Human joystick, that's not, like, there's no point in that. I mean, why would you want human joystick on a quarterback? I mean, it might be fun, but it's not going to be useful a lot. That's what fast break is, but for QB runs. So, yeah, that's abilities for quarterbacks. And a ability that Michael Vick can't get is Gunslinger. That is a very good ability. And also, if you can get Gunslinger, I suggest getting that if you just know what you want. Like, know what your playstyle is. Just build your team around your playstyle is what I'm trying to say. Like, and QB Playmaker, I don't ever Playmaker, but if you can Playmaker a lot, then yeah, get QB Playmaker. But I don't really use QB Playmaker, so I don't really ever need a quarterback with that. So let's get on to running backs. So it just depends who your running back is. Like, if you play just trying to juke people out, then I don't suggest getting Bo Jackson. He is more of a power back. I mean, he's good at juking and stuff, but he's more of a power back. I don't use abilities on my Bo Jackson because he's good without them, but if you're using like Raheem Mostert, I suggest using abilities on him. But I'll just show you guys. So pin and pull guru, I don't really run a lot of pitches or tosses or counters, so I don't ever use this. Backfield mismatch, I don't ever really pass to my running back, so it's not an issue. Now these inside zone guru and outside zone gurus, these are really good. If I can, I always use these. And it's basically you just get better blocking. If you run a lot of stretch, then get outside zone guru. If you run a lot of halfback dive, which I do, just use inside zone guru. But armbar, this is a really good ability. And it's basically you just stiff arm very well. And leapfrog, don't use this. It's like you're gonna fumble a lot. You're gonna fumble if you try to hurdle. Like, I got leapfrog on my Saquon when I still had him. I had leapfrog on him. I fumbled every single time I tried to hurdle. It's not that good. Don't get leapfrog. Now, clutch, indoor baller, homer, same thing with quarterbacks. If you want to use these and you just don't have any other ability slot that you need anything in, just use them and you'll get your X Factor quicker. But bulldozer, this is bulldozer, you just truck more, and it's like if you truck a lot, then get this. But bruiser is a really good ability. It's basically armbar and bulldozer in the same ability, and it is like just a little bit over bulldozer. So I highly suggest getting bruiser if you can. Jukebox is a really good ability, and spin cycle, this is also a really good ability, and you're gonna, if you can, then I very highly suggest getting evasive, because evasive is very helpful. Like, the spin move in this game is insane, and also the jukebox. If you have jukebox or evasive, you're gonna juke people so easily. Like, they're gonna have to click on. And human joystick, I don't really know. Like, I don't even think any halfback can get it, but I don't suggest getting human joystick on a running back, because you can just get evasive and juke people. And I think juking is better. Unless you have insane stick skills, then I suggest getting evasive over human joystick. And then running back apprentice, unless you have like Christian McCaffrey and you throw to your running back a lot, then I don't suggest getting this unless you throw to your running back a lot. But that's the abilities for running backs. Now, let's get into the X Factors. And the best X Factors are going to be Wrecking Ball. It's pretty decent. First one free, same thing as Wrecking Ball. It's pretty good. Rack 'em Up is not going to be that good. Like, I don't know a lot of people that pass to their running back a lot, but I mean, you're not going to get single coverage on your halfback, like, ever. Satellite, same thing. It's not going to be that good. Like, I don't know. Freight Train, this is very good. Like, it will be insane. It's what Eric Dickerson had when he was the most insane running back in the game. And Protective Custody, this can be really good, but my Bo Jackson really never fumbles, so I don't have this. I personally would prefer to get Freight Train on every single halfback or first one free. First one free, you're basically just going to juke everyone no matter what. And then Freight Train, you're going to break every single tackle. It's insane. But that's for the running backs. And let's get on to wide receivers. First off, Slotomatic is, I don't know, it's kind of good. But, Jukebox, I've already discussed, is like really good. Grab and Go is basically, if you rat catch it, you have human joystick for that play. Out Corner Elite is one of the best abilities in the game if you run a lot of corner outs. Like, if you run my scheme, or like if you just run a lot of corner outs, then this is the ability that you're gonna need to run. I use Out Corners Elite because I run a lot of corner outs and out routes, and it's basically, if you have it in your hands, you're gonna catch it. Like, my players jump over the defender and like moss on them and catch it. It's insane. You need it. Same thing with End Post Elite. If you run a lot of posts or ends, then get this. But Post Flag Elite, yes, this is the same thing as Out Corner Elite, except different routes. It still has the corner out, so same thing. But yeah, these 4 abilities right here, these 2 and these 2 right here, I suggest getting them. Just look at the routes that it comes with and see what route you run with a lot. I cannot speak. Like, my Tyreek Hill runs a corner out almost every single play, so I have Out Corner Elite on him. But Slot Apprentice is basically just wide receiver apprentice, but yeah, Tyreek Hill has it. I don't use it on Tyreek because I only need one of them for my scheme, but if you want extra hot routes like corner routes and posts on a wide receiver, then I highly suggest putting it on Tyreek Hill or a fast wide receiver or just your best catching wide receiver. I highly suggest like the apprentice abilities because extra hot routes, can't go wrong with that. And red zone threat, I mean, I've never used it, so it just seems like double me, just a little bit worse. But yeah, see, they're all the same. Double move elite, I don't suggest doing this unless you run a lot of double moves. Clutch, indoor baller. Now, streak specialist is a very good ability because if you have streak specialist on Tyreek Hill, he's gonna have a touchdown if he's pressed. There's no doubt about it because usually they'll bump him. They'll bump the wide receiver if they don't have streak specialist, but if they do, then if your wide receiver has streak specialist and they press him, he's going to get by instantly and it's going to be a touchdown. And now, Matchup Nightmare. I've heard a lot of good things about this ability. Apparently it's really overpowered, but I've never really used it, so maybe try it out. It seems really good from what I've heard. But this Post Specialist, same thing as the other abilities. But Route Technician, it's pretty decent. It's just better route running, I guess. I don't suggest getting it. Return Man, don't use this unless it's on, like, I wouldn't use it. Leapfrog, don't use this. Spin Cycle, that is a very good ability. I would use that if you can. And this Playmaker, unless you Playmaker a lot, then I wouldn't use this if I were you, because I don't do it a lot. But the ability that is like the best offensive ability in the game is Human Joystick. This ability is so good. You can just like swerve around people so easy. Like the people with high stick skills, you don't need this ability. But I mean, I have good stick skills, but I can't do very good cuts and turns like other people can, so I use Human Joystick on Tyreek. It's really good on returns because you can just swerve around people. I get like kick returns all the time with Tyreek, but that's for the wide receiver abilities. Now let's go into the wide receiver X-Factors, that's what it's called. Double Me, I suggest getting this. It seems like you might want to get Mossed over Double Me, but Moss is really hard to get, and it's not that as good as it used to be now. Like, it'll still work, but sometimes you'll get a bad animation. But Double Me, I use on every single wide receiver I put an X Factor on. Now, Mossed is a really good ability. If you can activate this, it's the best ability in the game. But just, if you're really good at passing, then get this or Double Me. Rack 'em up, Double Me. It's basically Double Me, except you're gonna get worse animations if you have Rack 'em up. Max Security, don't use this. It's already hard enough to activate the abilities on wide receivers. This is not a very good ability to put on a wide receiver. I mean, high success rate, if it was like 100% chance to catch it against like on possession catches, then yeah, that would be insane. But it's not, so just don't use max security. If you can use Double Me, then use it. If you have Mossed, maybe use it. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Just I would use double me if I were you. And now that's pretty much all the offensive abilities you need to know. Don't use abilities or X factors on your O lineman. Please don't. It's pointless. Don't ever use it. Tight ends, I don't usually use a tight end, so I mean, I don't know. Wide receivers are mostly on the field anyway. I wouldn't use it if I were you. I mean, they have some good abilities. I don't know. I wouldn't use it if I were you. You can, if you know some good abilities that I don't know about tight ends, then sure, use it, but I don't use it on tight ends, so just stay away from O linemen on offense, please. That's all I have to tell you on offense. And then I'm gonna do the offensive chemistries now, and then I'll make a part 2 of this for defense. But team chemistries, always use them because you might have a lot of Chiefs players, and you will maybe get like +1 speed on your Chiefs players. But on offense, a lot of people use West Coast, they use go deep, or I mean, it just depends. Like, I prefer balanced offense, but some people run power run. If you run a lot, then maybe use this zone run. Go deep is really good for like mainly passing, obviously, because it's go deep. West Coast, I mean, I prefer balanced, but some people use West Coast. I haven't really ever used it, so I don't know. Either West Coast or balanced offense is what I prefer or would tell y'all to use. So either balanced offense or West Coast. Maybe go deep. I don't know. Just do it on your playstyle. And sprinter is the #1 extra like chemistry. I don't know what it's actually called, but the blue chemistry is what I'll call it. Use sprinter. Do not use brawler. Don't use brawler or shaker. It's not good. Brawler, you get +1 speed. Okay, you get +2 speed on brawler, and then on shaker you get +1 speed, and you only get +1 speed on shaker, so don't use shaker. Brawler and sprinter, I mean, they're kind of similar, but on sprinter you get +2 acceleration. Agility is not that important, and strength is not that important in this game. Speed is very important. And on brawler you get +1 strength and -1 acceleration. And from my experience, acceleration does matter. Some people say it doesn't, but I think it does. +1 strength, I mean, it can matter. I don't know. And -1 agility, that's fine. As long as because a lot of people have jukebox anyway, so the agility doesn't really matter that much. And the chemistries don't actually count towards the abilities, so it's not like you're not going to be able to get jukebox if you have -1 agility. So I suggest using sprinter, and if you don't want to use sprinter, at least use brawler. Do not use shaker. You need +2 speed, not +1. And that's pretty much it for the offensive side of the abilities and X factors. So if this helped, then please leave a like. Peace.